Welcome to the video tutorial detailing the fine-tuning process of JetTech PWK. Following a successful installation and calibration of the software, all that remains is fine-tuning of JetTech's dynamic simulation model to perfectly match the air and fuel flow characteristics of your carburetor. First step is to unlock the system. 8 individual database settings are available to save individual setups for instant recall. You could, for instance, tune setup number 1 for an airbox and filter fitted, and possibly number 2 for no airbox or say no filter. And of course you can use any of these settings for other carburetors you have available. So leaving setup number 1 selected, next select your spark plug type, either NGK or Denso, by pressing this button, and next your needle profile needs to be selected from the drop down list. For the purposes of this tutorial, let's leave DGK selected. Now the first step is to establish the jetting factor, here represented by the number 663, which is the adjustment for your main jet. You will note also that the idle jet 55 is selected, and of course you would select your particular chosen idle jet here. So the first step is to sight your temperature and humidity sensor at ground level in the shade. This is to replicate the humidity and temperature entering your engine, and you must always sight your humidity and temperature sensor in that location, in the shade at ground level. So having done that, first enter the weather conditions at your location. And you will note that the main jet 195 is displayed here. Install the 195 main jet and go out and complete 10 laps at racing speed. On completion, return to the pit and examine your piston crown, spark plug and exhaust header, and determine if the setting at 195 is rich or weak. I would imagine it would be rich, however it depends entirely on your conditions and the state of tune of your engine. Let's assume for the purposes of this tutorial it is indeed rich. Dial down the jetting factor to the next weakest jet, in this case the 192. Install the 192 in your carburetor and go out and complete another test session. Again, on returning to your pit, examine the piston crown, spark plug and exhaust header for colour and determine the suitability of the 192. By simply repeating this process, by going either richer or weaker with the main jet, never forgetting to enter the current weather conditions at the time, you will quickly establish the main jet jetting factor, in this case displayed as 645. Having completed that process,